La, 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 la. Hey, this is a song for my haters. Yeah, you got me feeling like the greatest.
Rowe dropping the pass in trouble. He gets the pass away over the middle, and it's picked off at the 20-yard line. Dansby makes the interception.
Welcome back. This is Press Coverage Podcast. I'm your host, E. Dansby. The spring is upon us, and we're in podcast season. Today, we want to put spotlight on one of our coaches that's doing great things here in the CSRA. A member of the 1998 TWW Women's State Championship basketball team, and now current head coach of the Lady Eagles. It's Nichelle Chapman. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good, Coach. First of all, I just want to say, hey, thank you for coming down here, sitting down with me. I know, busy schedule, working, and tournaments going on night, so I know you're trying to get home and catch it, but I appreciate your time today.
No problem.
Nichelle, so, not to put a longer time, let's dive right into your journey. Josey's basketball here in the past year or so, I've been to a few games, and I kind of see your passion on the sideline and the coaches around y'all passion, but I know that a passion like that just doesn't start just when you become a coach. That starts in your early years. So when did you kind of find your love for the game of basketball?
I'd say early on in life, kind of grew up in the neighborhood, and that's what, we did after school, during the summer. We always would go to the park, basketball, softball, go in the centers. We had Dowdy Park in Southside or South Nellyville.
Gotcha.
Go shoot some pool, play foosball, just, be active. We were real outdoor kids back when we were growing up.
Right. Just run. And so, in my era, of course, a little behind you, but, you don't even really see that today in today's, world with our kids is being active outside. Everything is social media. Everything is in the house, and they're just not getting outside like they used to be. In that day, you didn't have all these trainers and people specified in a certain area. We just kind of trained ourselves.
Gyms and stuff.
We just
like
got better as we played. We kept playing.
You asked for a basketball. You had tennis shoes. You went outside to go to the court. Yeah. And that's where you told your parents were. If anybody passed by, that's where you better be. But that's what we did growing up. We were outside children.
Right. Like you said, we don't see it today, but hopefully, at some point we can get back to that. Like I said, we're in the world of social media, and it's kind of just hard to get our kids from in front of the phone, in front of the TV. So, Coach, like I said, you found a love for the game of basketball and the sports, period, at a young age. So, of course, I know you said you played some rec ball. I know that probably led into playing middle school ball at some point. Mm-hmm. But at some point, and we're going to get into high school, you're going to attend Josey. Mm. And this is during the mid-'90s. And we know during that mid-'90s to late '90s run at Josey, we're talking about a vibrant era in Josey. We're talking about, Josey's women's basketball, the state championship in '95, with Dion and Armand Talbert and George Brown leading the helm. We're talking about when the band was up under Dr. Smith and the sonic boom of the South. So this, in your words, just kind of give us a feel of what Josey was back during that time.
Pride. You took pride in, being coachable, being a kid. Some of us were mischievous, no doubt, but for the most parts of it, we were very respectful. We listened to our elders, our coaches.
Gotcha. And,
a lot of them put us in the best situations so we could thrive in.
Right.
We had a lot of talent walking through those halls. I got to Josey 94 and 95 school year, which was a year right after my sister graduated. Okay. So I had a lot of family that came through the nest as well. Yeah. And she played basketball all 4 years for Coach Lynn Brantley. She had some good teammates. Mm-hmm. Tasha Campfield, Tasha Curry, Stella Dixon. They made runs when they were playing as well.
Right.
So, when the younger girls start coming up, we looked up to them. So we didn't want to, you didn't want to let them down.
Right.
So you kind of wanted to follow in the footsteps of your big sister, so to say.
Right, I got you. And when you talk about, going through the nest, my whole family, other than my eldest aunt, went to Josey. And the only reason why she didn't go to Josey was because, it wasn't built.
Wasn't Josey.
Josey wasn't even in existence at that point, so she went to Lane. But everyone after her went to Josey. So even myself, and I didn't even attend Josey. I should have, but I didn't even attend Josey. It was in me that I always rooted for the Eagles. Even when I kind of competed against them, I was like, man, we ain't gonna take it. We don't want to beat them too bad because my whole family's come through. I've seen this program at Josey do so many great things. Like you said, from the band and how that just is, corralled the community and, you know, everybody coming around that football team in 95 and even after 95 and the Dr. Smith and the Sonic Boom of the South and then, you know, getting into what you guys was able to do on the basketball court on the women's side a little later in 98. So you remember that 1998 TW Georgia Women's State Championship team that was led by Coach Lynn Bradley. So what was it like just playing for Coach Bradley and what was it like, you know, just being on that championship run in 98?
Oh, man, it was great, man. She was a great teacher, a great mentor, a great coach to learn from. We also had Coach Walter Lawton at that time. He came on to help. When we were just driven, our junior year, we actually just messed around and bonded and caught fire at the right time, and we got all the way there. That's when that year we battled. That was the 96, 97 year where we battled Richmond. I think we played Richmond probably like 4 or 5 times that year.
Right.
And we ended up playing each other for the state title, and they bested us that year. Yeah. And so we kind of, like the seniors of that moment, me, Reed, Kelly, Lakeisha Lane, we kind of took that personally. So that whole summer, we just dedicated to just working every day, just trying to get 1% better, 1% better.
Right.
So we just came back and, you know, we knew what we had to do. We knew we had to take care of business, and you just had to focus on the details, on the little things.
Right. So like you said, you know, so, you know, when I ended my research, I'm saying, well, they won the state in 98, but they went to the state in 97. So I know, you know, coming back, that's a lot of motivation. You know, want to avenge that team. Yeah. The seniors that probably walked out of there that was, you know, upset or heartbroken, you guys want to put it on, you know, take accountability for that and put it on yourselves to try to win it. And this means looking up Coach Bradley, 30 plus years at coaching at Josey. And when I looked at my research, she's the most winningest head coach in Georgia high school basketball. Still, that when I'm looking it up, she's still by a very slim margin, but she still has the most wins with 754 wins all time. That's, you know, most of those coming at Josey. Of course, he had a little tenure at Helston.
754.
754 wins. I think that's still from my research. It's still
that's a blessing because
that's a lot of basketball.
I'm just 2 years in and I don't.
But coach, you're just 2 years, but you're on a good track. You on. I
don't know about no 30.
That's a lot. That's a long time. But like you said,
it's a lot of girls. That's a lot of influence.
That's a lot of influence. There's a lot of people that walk those halls of Josey.
Yes. That's big.
Yep. So like you said, 754 wins. Yeah. The state championship in 1998. When you think about just 754 wins in the state championship, that doesn't even really tell the true story of the influence that she had on TW Josey at that time frame. You know, you're seeing so many people for 30 years from, you know, retiring in 2007 and, you know, from 07 on back to when she started and came to Josey, so many people that walked the halls, and she's been a positive influence on them. And that's a blessing.
Yeah, and some of them, you know, I can remember sometimes when we used to practice, she used to bring some of the ladies. They used to come back in and practice with us. You know, she actually had a couple of players that went to the WNBA.
Yeah, I seen that.
You know, doing my own little research because, you know, we never really get to have our whole history where we could read all the young ladies that played for Josey or, you know, played for Coach Brantley. So whenever I can get my hands on something where I could do a little reading, I try to soak all of it up, like Taj McWilliams. Yeah. She came out. At the same.
I seen that name as well in the research.
Deshauna Blocker. Okay. You know, she came out. I think we had a couple went D1. I think Sharika Wright actually had, from my understanding, had a chance to make it to the league. I'm not quite sure what happened with that, but Ms. Brantley she's had some talented girls.
Right. She's
some
definitely
very good women. Like all
750
levels. Know what I'm saying? All levels.
200 some losses.
WNBA, D1 top programs, Georgia, you know, Ole Miss, stuff like that.
Right. And you know, off the air we kind of talked about, you attended Georgia Southern. You know, you go there as an undergrad. You know, you get your degree in coaching. You know, eventually you kind of come back here to Augusta. And you're working in alternative school, you know, you start coaching AAU, but at some point, you come back to Josey in 2018, 2019 school year. And I know, you know, walking down those halls before, you want to be a part of what's going on. Had to be a part. So when did it kind of dawn on you that you wanted to be a part and thrust yourself into the program?
Well, when it was asked, would I mind coming back?
Okay.
And that, you know, I had to go home and do some, you know, thinking about it because it had been a long time since I had been back. You know,
sacrifice for sure.
And So that was a big step. That was a huge step.
Right.
But, I'm the type of, I was raised that, God puts us in certain situations.
Right.
Nothing is never for no reason. Everything has a purpose.
Right.
So when she asked me, the old coach, Miss Jennings, when she was retiring, did I mind coming? Would I mind coming back? I just told her no. So putting my paperwork in and everything. Made sure I talked with both principals and everybody was cool with the transferring from one area to another one.
Gotcha.
And I just, I guess I made up in my mind when I was getting ready to go back, when school was getting ready to start, that I wanted to help out. Whether I was getting paid or not, it didn't matter. I just wanted to be around the girls' program just to see how, he ran his program, just to be around the girls, just to, understand, stay close to the game.
Right. And at that time, a little bit before that time, what you're talking about, Jawan, took in that job over, and I think like 07, 08, somewhere around
I'm not sure when he got it, but I know he got it after, I know Miss Jennings had it.
So at some point he takes over.
I think she took over after Miss Brantley retired, and then he took over from her.
So maybe a little after
when exactly that time frame, I'm not sure.
Right, so Jawan takes over, and then like you said, we get into it when you come on board. But like you said, when you're going back to your alma mater, it feels like you're indebted to it. Like I said, I graduated from Richmond, and so when people bring up Richmond program, which I've never been back and really done anything with the program, but I've always stayed close to some of the coaches that coached when I was there.
And some of the teachers too.
Yeah, teachers as well. And we was able to do some great things. People don't even remember those Richmond teams I was on in 08 and 9 and how good we really were. And when you think about Richmond program, like, they really wasn't that good. Now Richmond was good in your time as well in football. And since that time, they hadn't won a playoff game before we came and actually won a playoff game. We won a couple playoff games. I feel like we had a state championship team, but Thomasville Central had something to say about it. And it was like a history, a historic program that had kind of been there all the time. And so in the third round, we went down in my senior year, but we kind of changed that program for the better. Got a lot of scouts to start coming out there, and people got D1 scholarships.
And that's what
we even had guys go to the league after I've come through there, get opportunities in the league. And that's what it's all about, kind of just coming and cultivating that culture. But like you said, going back to Josey, thrusting yourself amongst the staff, the community, the girls on the team, you feel indebted to it because you walked the halls. And like I said, you was there during the time frame at Josey when it was Josey. When T.W. Josey was the sonic boom of the South, and it was the green and gold.
Teachers that
green and gold meant something.
Yeah, we had teachers that our parents knew that. Coming to a game on Friday nights or Tuesday nights, whether we're basketball or whatever, they talked to our parents at the game. So our parents knew our teachers. Our parents knew, what I'm saying, what was going on, because it did. It still does now, but back then in that time, our teachers didn't mind mingling up with the parents. Didn't mind talking to them, getting to know each other, knowing their children.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like the whole community were invested in the kids back then.
Right. And so like we say, you go back to Josey, you return in the 2018, 2019 season. At that time, Coach, Jawan Bailey, he's there. He's, revamping the system, and he's building it up. And so, what was it like just, working with Coach Bailey as he was trying to build that Josey into a state contender?
It was amazing. I caught it the year after him and Jamal took the ladies to the state championship. I think it was 2017, 2018
in Los
when they lost to Lane in that. And so they were, I was able or blessed enough to jump on that train at the right moment, because they were doing rolling amazing things. Right. It was doing amazing things.
Right, and I believe that, success is just not, it's a process. You don't see it. Most people see the final product. Many people don't see, what was the process to actually get to that success. And, like you said, taking that, Jawan building that program up, then, going against Laney when Laney was like a premier program. They were a powerhouse at the time, going into the state championship, competing well, losing, but letting that be a learning lesson. And now you see what Josey is a building blocks. And now and those girls are long gone, but we've seen what that's cultivated the culture of Josey to be to this day. And ultimately, we were able to win the state championship, and we'll get into that. So, you guys finished as runners-up in 2018. You joined that's when you joined the staff.
The year
after, right? And so in 2021, you guys defeat Fannin County, able to get one done. So get one in and win one. So what does it mean just for you, Josey, winning the state championship in 1998? You being a part of the state championship team also in 2021 as a coach. What does it mean to you to be a part of both of those experiences?
it's something I never imagined.
Right.
You know, that team that year, we knew that they had it in them, and we coached them very hard that year. Like, you know, Juan was riding them because we all seen the potential in them, but sometimes, you know, that year was a roller coaster year.
Right.
We had a lot of ups and lots of downs, but that's with
season.
every great team.
Right.
You're going to have adversity.
Gotcha.
As long as you can able to rattle the soldiers, the troops, and keep the main goal, the main focus,
Gotcha.
then everything else took care of itself.
Gotcha.
And we rode them hard that year. We were hard on the whole staff, but the seniors that year, they kept the girls together. Like, there were times where they kicked us out the locker room before we would return back to the floor for halftime.
Right,
so after the coach, Juan and Maul come in and they say they little spiel, you know, the girls was like, cool, coach, give us a couple minutes, which Juan allowed them to do.
Yeah.
They said they little spills, and then they used to come out and they got the business. So it was like, it was more, and that's the way I feel like the majority of championship teams should be.
Yeah.
It's like,
definitely.
yes, you got to have a great coach. You got to have a great chef.
Yeah.
But you also have to have that type of coach, or, you know what I'm saying,
that
player
personality
that'll be able to bring the players together. Like, look, we could set our differences aside. Everybody can eat off this pie.
Right.
We just got to know our roles. Everybody do their jobs.
Yeah.
And we going home with the dub at the end of the night.
That's it. And like you said, you know, you got to have a great coach at the helm.
Yeah.
And whatever sport you're playing, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, it's always going to be, like you said, a great chef at the helm. But when you got those players that's going to take accountability in the locker room for their play, not blaming on the coaches or anything else, they're looking at each other in the eye and saying, you know what, this is on us. If we want to get it done, it's on us. So we're going to put everything aside for winning's sake. And that also, that's bringing the team together. So when you look at someone like a Draymond, they think he's like a cancer in today's society with Golden State, but he actually bands that team together.
And not only that, he does push it. Like, some stuff
he pushes the limit. Yeah.
You gotta bag up off some of the battles, because you're not gonna win every battle.
Right?
You know, especially with some of this stuff like arguing. Like, we all can argue with the referees, we really can.
Yeah.
But is it gonna change the call?
Yeah, it's not.
So I mean, say your piece. He heard you. Let's play the game.
Yep. That's it. And I had to learn that in college. You know, like playing defensive back, and I'm just like, man, that's a bad call. You ain't called it last week, or you ain't calling it this week.
And see that, and that's it. That's my thing. Make it be known. You know, say your grievance, and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm not gonna keep running over this dead dog. But if you're not gonna call the same way both ways, then why call it on us? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just keep it real.
Just keep it.
Just keep it
even. If you keep it even across the board,
that's it.
Just play.
Yeah.
So, you know, getting back to Josey, you know, Juwan coaches for one more year, 2022. You guys reached the Final Four once again.
Should have had a chip then. Should have had a chip then.
You guys lose to Elba County, who eventually goes on to win the state championship. And just like with anyone that has success comes another great opportunity. Juwan gets an opportunity to go on to Newton County. He takes that opportunity. But when he leaves, he says, you know what, he makes it known that Coach Chapman should take my place. So, you know, what was your mindset just taking over Juwan and stepping into those shoes with someone who had come and changed the program around and done so many great things?
Scared.
I understand that.
Scared out of my mind. So many emotions. I think the first thing out of my mouth was, where Jamal going? I don't want to lose Jamal.
Yeah.
That was my main thing, because I couldn't do this by myself. I can't do it by myself. He's a great basketball mind. He's helped me grow so much, because this is not only uncharted waters for me. It's like, I don't know if I really wanted to do this or not. I mean, I know I wanted to keep our girls together, and I didn't want to lose them. Right. But the other side of that coin is like, I'm not really that front of the curtain type person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Some of us are behind the scenes. Some of us are more in the forefront, and that may not be your personality. It doesn't make you not a good coach, because you can definitely be a great coach, but some of us are, you know, I'm going to call this play and I'm going to stand behind the scenes. And I'm going to let my assistants just do their job. And I'm just going to come up with the game plan.
And see, that's it. I mean, he's helped me develop all.
Right. And we're going to get into Jamal here in a second.
For the last, you know, these 2 years, I done had to learn a lot on the fly.
Yeah.
So he's helping me tremendously with that, setting up game plans, running play, calling out plays, trying to get the girls mentally ready for everything that's coming down the pipe.
Right.
It's
and,
just,
And even in that process, like I said, give a shout out to Josey and just the athletic program and the staff, because most time when you lose a coach like Juwan who had taken the program and done so many great things, they're looking for that big splash hire to come in. But you guys keep it right there and keep it together.
We tried our best.
So keep it together, keep it in house. This is what it's built upon, so we want to keep these people in place. So shout out to the athletic program. Juwan recommending you, them believing in you, and you being able to come in and y'all got this thing rolling and it's steady.
Yeah. At that time, shout out the athletic director, Coach Starr.
Okay.
John Starr.
John
and
Starr Jr.
the principal, Dr. Miss McRae.
Right. Shout out to all of them that, like I said, kept this thing together. So, in your first season, as the the ladies Eagles head coach, you get back to the Final Four once again. You guys, you lose the Bank County, but then again, it's the Final Four, and it's such a long season. Getting to the Final Four is an accomplishment in itself. And like you just mentioned Jamal, and like I said, we're going to talk about him. You're only as good as the people around you. You're only as good as the staff around you. With Juwan leaving and Jamal being there, being around the program for 10 plus years, seeing the ups and downs and just battling with his brother, how has he just helped you steer that ship of taking over being a head coach and also chasing these championships?
Man, he's been a huge blessing. I mean, he's just, like I say, he's just taught me so much, just how to steer the ship, how to do, everything that's coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
From, setting up schedules, plays, practice time, how to run your practice, keep everything boom on schedule, how to keep your parents, involved in everything that's going on as well, how to make sure we keep, good communication lines open with our players. Yeah. And we just, we don't take everything too serious. We just bounce everything off each other. Yeah. It's four of us now, me, him, SJ, Coach McNeil. We pretty much, all our decisions go through us. We bounce it, majority rules, whatever we voted, we gonna go with. That's what we gonna go with. Right. And it's just been, fast-paced learning for the last 2 years that if I wouldn't have had him, I ain't gonna lie, it probably would not have been this much success that I'm looking at right now.
Right. Shout out to Jamal, man.
Shout out to, Big
shout out to
Bailey.
Jamal Bailey, man. Because it's God been knowing since I was,
for real,
yeah. Since I've been knowing Juwan and Jamal since I was a young kid. And they've been around Josey since I've known him.
And he's a brilliant basketball man. He really is.
Yeah. It was a good player in his time. It was a good player. It was a good player in his time. And like I said, his brother goes on, but he decides to stay and stick around and kind of build you guys up. You get the job. He's right there to help you. And like you said, it's when you're an assistant coach, it's easy to just come out to practice and just coach and specify on what your job is. But when you become the head coach and you're writing schedules and you got this and you got that, and then sometimes you're dealing with girls, so it's a little different.
And they looking at you like, what we gonna do? What you gonna do? So it's nice to have
someone else that's
a template that already
he's kind of set the template, you kind of fall into it.
Easy.
So, man, shout out to Jamal, man. Like I said, it's been a blessing to that program, man. And, a lot of the success, like you said, is Juwan in your face, but, he's just as part as anyone else. And shout out to him for that. So, this year, you guys, you get to the state championship. You go up against the defending state championship, Mount Perrin. That's what I'm saying?
Mount Perrin. The Juggernaut,
man. I think they were like 2 or 3 in a row at the time. You
Three in a row.
Three in a row.
But 3 in a row now.
3 in a row now. So, 2-time defending champion. Now they're 3-time defending champion. You guys taking them on in a close game. Your young players are battling hard all game. It's nip and tuck. It's not a blowout, but they are experienced. It is a private school. They do recruit. Yes, so we understand we understand sports and being realistic about it and what it is to go up against teams like that. But you guys didn't back down. You guys didn't waver. You came out and fought hard. And I believe that's going to pan out. So, what was this season like for you, Coach? Making in your first 2 years, you had such a success. Now you make it all the way to the state championship, but you guys come up a little short.
We grew up this summer. We started off this summer kind of rocky, trying to get girls that had been in the program, don't get me wrong, but they weren't, players that got significant playing time. Gotcha. So now, our main thing is, training is cool. There's nothing wrong with training. Right. But like any good, subject, you got to put it to the test to kind of see what you really know. So as you train, you need to play. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it could put yourself in some of the predicaments. You could use some of the moves, like the Euro step, or crashing out on the boards, or doing different stuff that you may be working on with your trainer. So we grew up this summer. Gotcha. We battled a lot of teams. We got invited to a camp up in, I think it's Swanee, Georgia, where it was like the creme de la creme of girls Georgia basketball.
Okay.
And everybody that had made it, I want to say at least to the Elite Eight on up in every classification, were there. So we went and we played like we always do. We play up because you can't learn anything while you're comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we try to make our babies a little uncomfortable so we can let them flourish. Because again, adversity.
Yeah.
You want them to be able to blossom. You want them to be able to blossom. Yeah. So we took some L's that we shouldn't have took this summer, but we had a lot of great growth and players that had to look and see, they want to be on a certain level, but you got to work to get there. Nobody's going to give you anything. You know what I'm saying? You got to work to get there.
Right.
So we learned from this summer. We came in. We had a couple hiccups early, in Lakeside and North Augusta. I feel like those were 2 games we probably shouldn't have dropped, but we did.
Right.
But again, learning stones. You know what I'm saying? Help you go to the end goal. And I think after that at North Augusta, we didn't lose again to the region championship. So we went on a nice little run then too.
Right.
So it's like it's just taking them account of they just gotta learn each other and just maintain and just keep a balance where you don't get too high. You don't let the stuff go to your head and get too cocky. And you don't get too low to think it's going, shooting woes or turnover woes are going to last forever. You got to just maintain, keep a good balance.
Gotcha.
You got to be able to keep that. And I felt like we did that a lot growing up toward the later part of the season.
Right.
And honestly, man, I felt like we had them. I really do.
Yeah.
Especially when I looked up, we going into the fourth quarter, we down by 2, because that's what we told ourselves. If going into the fourth quarter, we are under 10 points, we have a shot to win the game.
Right.
All y'all got to do is stay composed, work the game plan. We got them on the hips, y'all. We got them.
Yeah. And it's more pressure on them than it was on you guys. Because they're the 2-time defending champion. They're trying to three-peat. You guys are coming out here. Josey is no slouch now because y'all guys contending every year and in the Final Four every year. So you guys are just trying to, no pressure on y'all. If we beat these guys, then it's a major upset. If they lose, all the pressure's on them. So like you said, it's coming out being relaxed, and if we keep it close to the fourth quarter, we'll have a chance.
We did. We knew what they were saying, but we never bought into the hype because we always believed in ourselves.
Yeah.
And like the coach, like I say, the coaching staff, we watched these girls grow from what we put them through this summer till this March.
Right, and still a young team.
Still a young
team when you talk about those girls. So, like you said, still a young team. Sophomore guard, Carrie Fluella, she scores 20 points in that championship game. You got juniors, Kiesha Henderson and Shania Sanders. All of them are returning. You got Zamaya Jenkins. She's also returning. She's a big contributor.
She's a sophomore.
She's a sophomore. So we're young. What's the motivation? What's next?
Hopefully the motivation was the loss that occurred.
Right.
What it was, March 7th. Because that was enough to motivate us back in that time. But hopefully that'll be it. But just to try to keep that fire up under them, keep them playing, keep them working on, weaknesses, strengthening things, and just keep them learning about the game of basketball, picking up their IQ.
Yeah.
Having them study the game, just not just watching some of the March Madness that's going around, because we got a lot of great players, not just freshmen.
Yeah.
We got a lot of great ladies that are on TV. Not only tonight, they were on TV yesterday too. So not just watch the game, but study them.
Yes.
Watch how they react when they don't get a call their way. Watch how they react if a shot doesn't fall or they don't get the defensive stop that they thought that they were going to get. Just kind of watch their mannerisms and stuff like that. You could pick up little tendencies if you pay attention You know what I'm saying? To certain things.
Like you said, not only be a watcher of the game, but study the game, study your position, study what's going on, be a student of the game. And that goes a long way. Because like you said, you also got to take mental reps as well. And that's a part of this watching film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a former athlete, that's something I always done was took the mental reps. When you're watching film and, when you see it, when you do it mentally, it's in your head.
Yeah.
Physically, you can come out. And it's kind of like second nature because you rep it in your mind over and over and over again. So, Coach, I definitely, feel you on that. So, Coach, I believe, and I know you guys are in great hands. The TW Josey, Lady Eagles, they're bound to do great things. We know they're gonna do that. We know they're gonna be right there at the end once again next year. But it doesn't. But it doesn't come just by just saying you got to go in and put the work in. You guys gonna do that.
We've created monsters along the way. Now we've created people that once they knock us off, it's kind of like it's a celebration. It's a party because
you Josey.
It's Josey.
It's Josey.
And I don't feel bad about that because we're going to get everybody's best shot, and we're going to damn sure try to give you our best shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's part of the game. Yeah, it's part of the game.
Yeah, it's part of the game, Coach. Yep. And like I said, you guys gonna be just fine. Like I said, keep working hard, Coach. Keep doing what you're doing. And the Lady Eagles gonna be right there in the end where you want to be. And like you said, let's get it to the fourth quarter.
That's it.
And we'll see what
we got a shot.
And it got a shot. So, Coach, stepping away from basketball now, just getting more on a serious note with you just being an educator and being around our kids these days. We live in a time now where everything is kind of social media driven, like we said earlier in the podcast, and the kids really aren't into the extracurriculars that the school provides like they once was in your time or in my time. The arts
being
are just
different, yeah.
Just sometimes you see even the attendance and just bands and
that's
football
true.
or whatever sport it may be. You just don't get that.
Not just sports. We don't have a lot of musicians anymore.
Yeah. People just not into it like they were. They want to be more content influencers.
We had a lot of musicians that were in the band.
Yeah, great.
Like I have homeboys that played multiple instruments.
Yeah.
You still come downtown sometime. They might be in have a little band playing on a little Friday or Saturday night and stuff like that. But we don't have a lot of kids that do a lot of different stuff anymore. It's kind of hurting them.
Everybody's kind of in one grouping doing one thing. And Coach, like I said,
it's so much. It's so much that they could be learning. Like even with stuff like this, you can have this right here in a school or in a classroom.
That's it.
You can teach them how to do this right here at an early age.
And the thing about it, I'm an ex-athlete, and so sometimes when you got someone that's the game is always going to outlast you. 2 Mondays ago, I turned 32 years old.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So, I could never play the game forever. I played all this football so many years, and it only lasted 3 to 4 years. It was over with. 1 year in Carolina, a few years in Minnesota. Then it was over with. And I said, man, I worked my whole entire life. I come back to Augusta, but at some point along the way, I was able to branch off from the game of football. And like, man, and get into the reporting, how these guys reported, journalism, looking someone up. When I invite Coach Chapman on my show, I'm enjoying the process of finding out who is Coach Chapman, what's her background, where she's coming from, what's her coaching mindset. So I got interested in that, but a lot of times our athletes don't know how to disconnect from the sport, or even connect with the sport. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you said, people aren't even interested in what's really going on.
And
so sometimes you don't know how to disconnect.
And that's big because some of the kids, they look at themselves as, I'm this basketball player, but I mean, yes, you're an athlete, but who are you?
Who are you? You got to find yourself within the game.
What I'm saying? You're a good athlete, and you're gonna people are gonna try to attach themselves to you when they see your greatness.
Gotcha.
But you got to be willing to know who you are to know that everything ain't for everybody.
That's it. That's it. And that's how I kind of felt coming down into coaching. It's like, man, you all conference guy, all American guy, the position, you should coach. And it's like, man, I love to train, but coaching is just not in my passion. I said, if that's the change, then God would have to let me see it. But I said, my passion was always media.
And if it's meant to be, it will be.
And if it's meant to be, like you said, Coach, it'll meant to be. But like I always told anyone, and I told Coach Starr this, I said, man, if I was the coach at a school, even though I didn't go to Josey, because I'm embedded and I've been around that area, I'm from Olive Road area, Essie McIntyre. I played at Carey Mays, you know what I'm saying? I played on Millersville, basketball at Millersville Road. So even though I didn't attend Josey, I'm indebted into the area. So if I was to even go back and coach, it would only be one school, and that would be Josey. It's taking that program from where it is now, and they're trying to, they're trying to build it up. It's not what it was in '95, you know what I'm saying? But it's almost 25. I mean, we need to have a revival.
Just
and
at
see
least
what's
be
going on.
competitive. That's what we're praying for now.
Right. And I believe they can get back to that point. It's just all about just kind of
that's it.
Just coming in. It doesn't happen overnight.
Foundation.
That's it.
He's trying to build him a great foundation right now,
Right.
and it's gonna take baby steps.
Josey has some great athletes, some great people, some great individuals come out of Josey that's walked those halls and played sports. And like you said, everyone doesn't make it to the NFL. Everyone doesn't make it to the NBA or WNBA or Major League Baseball. But it's been some great people that come from Josey, and they're in our communities now doing great things.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So, Coach, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I know it's NCAA season time.
Yes. I gotta
and the
go
game
catch
is about
up on this game.
Yeah. So Iowa's hot. USC, Carolina, they're the top dog. USC Trojans, they're in it. UConn's in it. Give me your pick, Coach.
Well, I'm gonna go with the home team. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't know, man. It's just it's wide open. I love Carolina. Don't get me wrong. I love Staley. Grew up being a Don Staley fan. I'm also a Kim Mulkey fan as well. Gino is kind of
before Don it was Gino.
That's the Gino. I look at Gino as he's my Darth Vader. He is, because I was a Pat Summitt fan. I grew up a Tennessee fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? SEC basketball, women's basketball. That was me.
You.
So I looked at Gino as the evil empire, because you never can count Gino out. That's what I actually love about.
UConn's always going to be consistent. They're going to stay right there.
He's going to be competitive. You can never count him out. And Juju, oh my God, the stuff that she's doing as a freshman. I mean, the kid is phenomenal, and she's very humble. Yeah. And she's studious. She's a generational talent. She really is.
So, Coach, you going with LSU?
Nah, baby, I'm gonna go with Don.
You going with South Carolina? You going with Don?
And then to shock the world, if Don them can't get it, I want Juju to go get it.
You want Juju to go get it?
I want Juju to go get it.
Coach, I feel like each 4 of these teams can probably win it all. At this point, it's all about who strike hots, who always got the hot hand.
Hey, man, on that.
But I'm going to take with my pick that I went with last year. Caitlin Clark in the Iowa, the Hawkeyes, they get it done. That's my pick. I believe that Caitlin Clark is destined to do something great. She's a great, not to say no one else is great, because all of these teams have great players.
That's true.
But I believe Caitlin Clark is on a mission, and she's going to get it done this year. But I could be wrong.
I don't know. It look like the ladies of the LSU might have something to say against
they might.
that
Angel Reach those guys.
You know
the game is going on now. We're going to step out
hey.
and get to it. So, hey, this is episode 23. I'm sitting down here with the head coach for the TW Josey Lady Eagles, Nichelle Chapman. Appreciate you for sitting here. Press Coverage Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. We're out of here. Appreciate it.
Hey, this is a song for my haters.